Bow! Oh god, I hate this weapon. Why am I doing this? Right, before we start, I don't hate this weapon because it's like bad or mechanically bad, or I've got like some weird hot take opinion on it. I don't like it because bow, as of late, I think it was like 4U, Monster Hunter 4U, bow basically stopped being a longer range DPS and became essentially a melee weapon, which I don't like, and it's simply just because of close range coating. But hey ho. Now, I only have really recently started to learn bows, so I'm still trying to figure out a lot. However, the one thing that I have figured out is no one understands the Gormagala uptime with this frigging weapon. I've spent like 2 days looking into it, and even I don't frigging understand it. It's mental. There are times where I can get like a 90% uptime, and then I'll do the exact same hunt against the exact same monster, and I'll get like a 30% uptime. I've looked at other people's play, I've looked at speedruns, I've looked at Team Darkside, I've looked at Rage Gaming, I've looked at Famito. The overall uptime of bow and Gormagala is set to fucking random, and I hate it. It is because of this where I personally will not recommend the 4-piece Gormagala. 2-piece is mostly fine, because as long as you can get to like around a 50% uptime, which seems to be kind of the median, I suppose, it's not that bad, and you can then rely on other skills to make up for when Gormagala Black Eclipse isn't active. However, if you fully invest into Black Eclipse 2, 4-piece Gormagala, and you get that, I don't know, 20 to 50% uptime, which is entirely possible, your bow build is going to suck. If you do 4-piece Gormagala and you get a 90% uptime, your bow build is basically untouchable when it comes to overall damage. But like I said earlier, Black Eclipse 4-piece Gormagala is weird. I don't know how else to describe it, so I personally am not going to be recommending 4-piece Gormagala. I do have 2 builds to show you that are running 2-piece Gormagala, and they have a hell of a lot to fall back on if Gormagala isn't active. So, on with the build. And before people start furiously typing, because bow builds are something people are very weirdly protective of, which is quite strange. I admire the commitment, but at the same time, my guy, chill, it's a game. Just to kind of maybe just put a few minds at rest. I'm not sure if people have seen it, but Team Darkside, I think 24 hours ago, put out a 2-man Zoshia run with bow. And they nuked Zoshia in under 5 minutes. I think it was literally 4 minutes 58 seconds. It was very close. But they are actually running a weaker variant of this build. Both builds, the Team Darkside one and what I'm showcasing, both have Witness Exploit level 5, Agitated level 5, Constitution level 4, Antivirus level 3. Their build continued on to Stamina Surge level 2 and Flinch Free level 1. That was basically it. On top of that, I have Coalescence level 2, which is a little bit more damage in the element department. It's not the most amount. It's also going to be dependent on the monster's elemental resistances. I also have a Burst level 1, which does very much help out, and an Evade window 1, which doesn't help out in terms of damage, but it helps noobs like me stay alive. And all of this comes at the cost of a Stamina Surge level 1. They had Stamina Surge level 2. I've got Stamina Surge level 1. On top of that, hopefully you might have seen throughout the footage as well that we do also have 2 pieces of Zoshia, which is helping keep my noob ass alive, because for some stupid reason I decided to learn bow exclusively when fighting Zoshia. I don't think I'm doing too bad, but I'm certainly no pro. So this is the build that I am utilising. Oh, well, if Team Darkside did it in 5 minutes, why is it going to take you 10 minutes to do it? Because I suck, alright? Right? Happy now? Along with, positioning, experience, and just overall knowledge of how to use the bow in Wilds. Summed up, I suck. So yeah, mathematically, this build is actually about 3% stronger than what Team Darkside were running in their run. So I'd actually be interested, not that I would ever watch this, I'd be interested to see them use this build and redo Zoshia and see like if there's like a time difference overall. But yeah, this build is technically stronger. However, this build also does rely on you essentially playing the elemental weakness side of things. I'm aware bow with close range at the moment is basically just pick a bow and slam into the monster as long as you have close range. However, if you're going to utilize this particular build, at least trying to stick with an element that the monster is preferably completely weak to, but at the very least vaguely weak to. However, like I said, I do also have another build ready for you, and this one is largely the exact same, King Imaginative over here. However, it is decidedly a little bit more comfortable as we're getting Constitution 5 as well as Stamina Refresh, Stamina Surge level 2, and it's not going to be running Coalescence, which does mean it's going to be weaker damage. On the raw side, both of the builds are the exact same. It's essentially the exact same build, and it follows suit to everything else I've been showing, and this is the exact same build realistically as the Team Darkside build, apart from they were running Guardian Full Granjanath Helmet for 2 Agitator, which kind of confuses me because Numinos Helm near enough gives the exact same thing, plus more decorations, higher defense, and an extra level 1 slot. So you can run Full Granjanath to get 2 Agitator with 1 level 2 deco, or Numinos for 1 Agitator, a level 3 deco, so there's your 2 Agitator. You also get your level 2 deco for your refresh, and then a level 1 deco for more Constitution, essentially. So this actually ends up being the exact same, the only difference being that we now have Constitution 5 instead of 4, and we have enough room to slot in a Burst or Chain Duel 3. So it's the exact same otherwise, and now we passively heal. So maybe it won't look as cool completing Zoshia on 1 health, but the only difference between this build and the last build is essentially Constitution and Stamina Surge level 2 versus level 1. So the other build does do more, but purely on the element side, which isn't going to be up all of the time, and the overall difference is very minimal. This one, however, does have Stamina Surge level 2, which some people might prefer. Now, normally at this point, I'd make an argument of how these are very much so close to the meta that you won't really notice a difference and overall performance and blah-de-blah-de-blah. However, due to just how simply Black Eclipse works with bow, I haven't got a clue. I've tested both the Forgore and these builds in comparison with each other against a variety of different monsters. I think I've killed more friggin' Chatacabras over the past 3 days than I care to admit. And there have been times where I'll get like a 1 minute 20 run with Forgore, and then I'll do it again, and it goes up to like 3 minutes with Forgore. And then I'll try it with this build, and I'll get like a 1 minute 20 run. And then I'll try it again, and I'll get like a 3 minute run. They basically seem to be doing the exact same thing. It just seems to be completely temperamental on how reliable activating Black Eclipse is with a bow. And I can't for the life of me figure out why. I've got a sneaking suspicion it's something to do with the spread shot. Utilizing all of those arrows that go in different directions, the game just panics, doesn't know what to do. And none of it applies to Black Eclipse. That's like the best idea I've got. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. It's less reliant on Black Eclipse, but it's still capable of doing good damage, because if Black Eclipse decides not to work, we still have Weakness Exploit, Critical Boost 3, as well as Agitator level 5 to help back it up. There's just a lot more skills there to back it up, which is what I tried to go for. So anyway, that is my take on bow. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.